Good morning, everybody. My name is Jane Sweetland, and we're here today to talk about contacts, saved searches, auto emails. We're going to talk about how to set them up to begin with, and then we're going to show how to work with your existing auto prospects if they came over, or your saved searches if they came over from Matrix. I have a feeling we'll have plenty of time for questions at the end, but for now I have your videos off so we can record this screen for those who might have missed the session. And then if you can ask questions in the chat, Megan and Heidi will watch those for us and let me know if there's questions, because I'm not good at doing both at this point. So welcome. And here we are. So at any given day, if you've had contacts, saved searches, or auto emails in Matrix, it's all part of my Matrix. So my Matrix is my stuff, my contacts, my listings, my CMAs, which we'll have a session on in a few weeks, any email I've sent, auto emails I've sent, saved searches I've sent, or not sent, but saved. If I have any carts, I think those work similarly to how they worked in your old system. It's kind of like a place to park listings while you're waiting to send them to somebody, or you don't want to forget to send or whatever. So all of your stuff is there. And that's what we're going to kind of work with today after we. So today I'm going to start with setting up a saved search. And then I'll show you how to work with saved searches. So if you're here because you want to know what happened to your auto prospects or your saved searches, I'll get to that. But to begin with, I'm just going to do a search just like any other day in your business. You're going to do a search. I already set my search up to look in Delaware, not Otsego County. Everybody can make their search do that too. If they want, just by picking whatever counties they want and hitting that little gear as the default. So every time I come into a single family search, it just gives me these two statuses and these two counties. And from there, I can say, okay, I need 3 or more bedrooms, and I need, at least two baths of some kind. Oops, my 2 didn't work. So that narrows things down. If I wanted to put an area in, I can. If I don't, if I want to just look at results, I can. If I want a price range, I can stick that in. Oops, for some reason I'm not typing good today. Here we go. So I'm just typing in some search criteria for my client. I'm down to 26 matches. Maybe that's good. Maybe I really didn't mean to do Delaware County, even though it's my default. So I'm going to take that off there. Now I'm down to 13 matches. Whatever my search is, I'm going to go to results. And I'm going to say, oh yeah, these are the ones I want to send to my client. So I can either email them, mark the ones I want, or if I click this little box up top, it'll mark everything on this page. So I have 25 showing on this page, but there's only 13. If there happened to be a second page and you use this little X, it's not going to mark the second page. So here we can see it marked all 13. If I wanted to email them, I'd have to mark which ones to email. If I'm setting up a saved search or an auto email, I don't have to mark them. I can just come over here on the bottom to save. And then it's going to say, well, what is it going to be? A saved search, just for my purposes, some kind of search I want to come back to, or a new auto email because I want to send these 13 listings. And then anything new that comes up that matches that same criteria, I also want to send. And by the way, if you do that, there is a way to set it up so it's an auto email, but it doesn't automatically go to the person until you check the listings. So I'll show you that. That one's called concierge mode. And then the other thing is a new speed bar shortcut, which I'm not really talking about today, but I'm going to just show you up here. This is the speed bar. And every time you do a search, if you just look up, you'll see it's kind of putting shorthand in for you. So this says residential ANC status, Otsego County, 150 to 200,000, 3 or more bedrooms, 2 or more bathrooms. Whichever one comes first is bed, and then the second one's bath. So if you wanted to save that as a speed bar search, you could do that, and you could name it so that you could type, you know, Gumby or whatever word you name that search up here, and it would do it for you. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I'm going to say this is a saved search for my purposes today, because I like to run this search all the time for whatever reason. I can mark that as a saved search, and then it'll just have me name it. So I'll just say it's Otsego County 3-bedroom, something, whatever I want to call it. If it's a one I really want to run regularly, and I don't want to have to go to my matrix, save searches, you can enable up to 20 save searches to go right on your home page. So I'm going to do that just to show it to you. And I'm going to say 2 or more baths, just so we have that on there, which I'll fix right there. And now I'm going to save it. And so now that one's going to be 2 places. It's a saved search. So it's now located in my matrix, save searches. And there it is, Otsego County, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. But I also marked that one to show on my home page. So if I go to the home page in my, I have to find that now. It's my favorite searches. I'm going to drag it out of that box that it's closed in. It would be right here on my home page. And if that's something I'm going to do regularly, like have a few saved searches, I would probably grab that header bar and move it up top, so I could see it right when I come in, like, oh yeah, I like to hit that one every day. I like to know what's, you know, in Otsego County, or I like to know what's in Delaware County, or whatever it is, waterfront, or anything particular to you. You can save up to 20 of them on your home page. And so that's kind of nice. Going back to the same exact search, which I remind you, you can do right here in recent searches. I think it shows the past 30 searches. So you can scroll down. It'll tell you on the second line what it was. Like these were all residential search. This was a MarketWatch search. This was public records. So it says tax, lots, land and farms. Sometimes I search agents. I'm surprised. Oh, there's an agent. So you can kind of scroll back through. I think it's your last 30 if you need to. I do it all the time. Like, what was I doing yesterday? Let me find that one again. But anyway, I'm going to just go to that same one I went to a minute ago, where there were 13 listings. And maybe instead I should have made it an auto email. So I can turn my save search into an auto email, which I'll show you later, but instead I'm going to click new auto email. And at this point I need a contact, because you have to have an email address to do that. If I don't have the contact I need, you're going to do create a new contact, and all you need is a first name, a last name, and an email address. So I'm going to say Brenda Bayer is her name, and her email address. I always just use my Gmail for this one. Which, by the way, if you're testing this because you just want to play with it and see how it works, you need to use an email for yourself that's not in Matrix. So Matrix knows your email is a realtor. And if you want to see the client version of things, you need to use your alternate personal email on there. So there's my Gmail. So that's all you have to do. There are more fields. So I'm going to click show all fields just to show you. If you want to collect home information, business information, any notes, the kids' names, whatever, you could stick that in here and save it as well. But the only things required are those 3, the 2 names and the email address. And then you can just save that. So now Brenda's a part of my contacts. She's added to my email. I'm automatically set up to BCC myself as the agent a copy. So whenever these auto emails go out, I get a copy in my email. You don't have to do that, or if you have a lot of these set up and you want to uncheck that, you can. If Brenda is somebody who really likes texting, she might want her listings to come via text message. So if so, you can text, you can check that. And the thing about text messaging is you have to send them an opt-in. So you would send this little opt-in message where she would have to say, yes, I would like to receive text messages, and she'd put her phone number in. Even if you have her phone number, she has to register her phone number that she will accept text messages. And I think the reason for that is because text messages, some people don't have unlimited. They get charged after so many text messages, so you have to opt them in. Alternately, in our MLS Touch app, you can also text from that app, and I do not think you have to opt them in. So it depends on if you like working in Matrix or you like working in MLS Touch. But MLS Touch is available at the Play Store and the App Store, depending on your phone. So I'm going to uncheck that so we don't have to opt Brenda in. She's good with email. And then I'm just going to put a subject on this. So this was like Otsego County, 4 bedrooms. So she knows what I'm sending her, 2 or more bathrooms. And then there's a default message that is a welcome message. And you can change that up if you like, and then save that as your new default. Almost every page of Matrix has a little default button for you to customize. After they've accepted their first email, there's a recurring email that really has no words. It's just like, here's your new listings, and it shows a little picture of the listing. If you want to add words there, you can, and also do the little gear. Your signature came over from your settings up here under your name and then settings. If you realize, oh shoot, I forgot to update my signature, or there is no real signature, you can also edit it right here and fix that up, whatever you want to change. Maybe now you have your broker's license. You can put that on there. I think it's supposed to say real estate broker or associate broker, maybe associate broker. And you can fix that. And now if I save it, it'll be next time I go to auto email, it'll be updated in there too. It gives you a little review of your criteria. I mentioned concierge mode. So if you check that, if there's matching listings after this, you'll get a notification like, hey, there's a concierge listing for Brenda Buyer. You want to check it to release it to her. And then you can either say send it or don't send it when that comes up. If you don't need to do that, your client's able to pick through listings by themselves. You just skip concierge mode. And you can decide if you want to send it daily, which is going to be every day at 11 a.m., the AMs, or 6 p.m. So every day at 11, every day at 6, you can do both. Or you could say, no, in this market, we need it to go as soon as that listing hits the market. We don't want to wait for 11 a.m. or 6 p.m. We want it to go ASAP. There is a monthly option. I really don't know if anybody ever uses it. I think once upon a time, what I was told is that maybe you have somebody who's sort of looking, they're not really looking yet. So monthly, they can get an email that would have your name on it, your branding, like, hey, these are the listings this month. But I really don't know if people use it. It's an option. So when you're all ready to go, you'll click save. You get a little message at the top, auto email was created. And if you go to my Matrix auto email, you'll see that one. And you can see it's got a little green circle, which says client must click first emails link already sent to activate. So it means you've sent them something to activate. They need to click it. Once they click it, it'll look like this with a green check mark. And it'll tell what time or date they got in there. So this one, they never got in. This one, I think I resent to an email that was already getting in our system, so they had already accepted it. These have either the agent opted out, so I disabled this one. If the client said opt out of email, it would say disabled by client. We do have a set of instructions for if somebody does disable and now they want to be re-enabled. And I'm just going to point that out right now. There's a really in-depth guide, which I just updated this morning, by the way. On your portal, we have a tools and tips page. And at the top, you may have come in here and all the communications we've been doing about Matrix are here. After that, there's a whole bunch of PDFs about Matrix. This one's called Auto Email Fax. And so it's 3 pages. I'm just going to open it real quick for you. And it explains every single thing about auto emails. Maximum number of recipients. If you need to resend them the welcome message because they just haven't opted in yet. It tells what those little circles mean. And then it tells how to opt in. If they've opted out, they actually have to send an opt-in email. So a lot of good facts here on that one. So I do recommend, if you want to know more, some people really like all those details, to take a look at that. If you don't want to know the details, just know that it works pretty good. And you can always hover over these and see what the status is. So this one we can see they didn't opt in yet. I will go over to my email. Let me see if it's in yet and see if it came in. Not yet. So it usually comes in within a couple of minutes. So we'll definitely go back over there and look at that welcome email. But in the meantime, now under my matrix, I mentioned this is under auto emails. That other one that I mentioned was under saved searches. We haven't really looked at contacts, but you can also go that route. So if we go to our contacts, they're all here in a list. You can tell the last time I did anything with them. And then you could tell the last time they clicked a link. When they get the email, it's in the One Home product, which I will show you. But you can see the last time they visited. You can see if they left you a note. You can see if they left you, if they favorited something. So that's something you can see here. These are all your active contacts. I have 7. Also, back on your home page, and this just depends how you like to work. On your home page, you have this recent One Home visitors. So I'm going to move that one up top. Maybe I like to see that right when I get in Matrix. And it tells me it's the same thing, that Betsy Bayer had a favorite and she sent me a note. So if you're really good about coming into Matrix every day, we can see that happened on March 24th. So I could be like, oh yeah, I checked that one already. Or I can come here and click that note and it'll open a new view. The note will be there. If it's a note you haven't read, it'll have a little symbol on there. Betsy wrote, I love this one. So you could write her a note back. Now, if you don't want to have to rely on coming in here and seeing that, that's fine. There's also a way for you to be notified. So that is also in that tip I showed you. I think it's on page 3. If you want to know more, but I'm going to show you under your name. You click your name, you click settings, and then portal notification settings. So you've probably been in here in my info to set up your email signature and your One Home page. Down here is your portal notification settings. So I'm going to click that. There are 8 of them. And so here you would be indicating hey, I would like an email every time someone saves a favorite, or I would like a text message every time someone saves a favorite, or sends me a note about something I've emailed them. You could do it for any of these, but I just cautioned you, like every time they visit their portal, you might not really want to be notified because you could really be inundated with emails or texts. But certainly if they save a favorite, you probably want to know about it. If they do a listing, send you a note, you'd probably want to know about it. If you want to know when they visit the first time, you can do that. If you do decide to do text message, you do have to enter your phone number in here and your cellular provider, and then it's going to send you a code that you have to type in here so that it makes sure it's connecting with you. And you've probably done that on other sites where you had to get the code, maybe your bank, maybe some other institution. It's really no different. But if you're set up for it, you'll get those text messages, etc. When you're all done picking what you want, like I'll say I want an email for this and a text message for that, you hit save. I think it's going to tell me, let's see. I feel like it's going to tell me I have a problem because I picked text messaging and I didn't fill that in. There, yeah, it wouldn't let me save it till I filled it in. Okay, back. Now I'm going to show you the email that came in. So I'm going to go over to my Gmail and refresh it. So this is me as the client from Test Broker, who was my agent, that Otsego County auto email that came. I'm going to open that up. And basically it's One Home. That's the product CoreLogic uses to send the listings. So my name is on here, my photo that I would have added in settings. They get this welcome to One Home message, and this was the default message unless I chose to save it. I'm sorry, to edit it. And then they just have to view the properties. Once they click this link, and my signature's down there, by the way. Once they click this link, that means they've opted in. So back in Matrix, I'll show you that now they're going to be a solid green circle. So here's those 13 listings I sent them. They can come through and look at them. They can see them on the map if they zoom in, where those are, etc. They can do everything. They can click on one. They can see all the pictures. They can read all the features. They can read all the property details. They can do all of those things without creating an account. But if they want to click favorite or yuck, discard this one, then it's going to say, hey, you need to create an account. In my case, it knows I have an account with this Gmail because I've used it before. But if I was a brand new client who didn't have a One Home account, it would say, hey, you need to set up an account. And it's the same thing. It's just a first and last name and an email address. There's no other information going in there. And it's just so they could save their own favorites, dislikes. If there were two people getting the same email, like say, two spouses, they could each, one could like one and one could discard one, and you'd see both of those responses. So they do need to sign in only if they want to use the tools or if they want to send you a note. It needs to know who they are. So it just makes them set up the quick account. Also, if they want to set up a search of their own, I'm 99% sure. Oh no, it lets them do it. I was going to say, I think they need an account for that, but I guess they don't. So they can do that part if they want. And then you would see that in your portal if they set up a new search. The last thing I'll show you on this, like this is the client view, just as a reminder, is they can always click on your photo, whether or not they're signed in or not. and see whatever you've put in your branding. So there's my little logo, there's my phone number, there's my email for my test account here. If I want to put more in, they would see more. So back over here, well, first let me show you another one. So I'm going to go back to my Gmail and see if I can find another one that's from my other account. I have one where I have personalized it a little more. So I'll just click on one of those. It's the same photo. This would be like the recurring listing. So the next time, you know, they just get this little brief message. I found one new or updated. They would get the photo because they're already opted in. And if they go to view the properties, you'll notice the branding's different on this one. The top is not that color that we saw before, that kind of one home teal, very pretty color. On this account, I went in and customized my office colors, which maybe are green and red. I could put my office logo up there, which mine's just a picture of a puzzle that I did because I'm not really a realtor. But here under my my branding, it's where those colors can show up. And I have more about me here. Like I have my license number, my team name, my Facebook business account, my Twitter, my little slogan, my cell phone, my website. If I have more stuff, they can click on that. I can put a video in here saying, hey, thanks for working with me. I look forward to whatever you would put in there. That's kind of like the most stuff you can put in. And this is kind of like the least. So this is fine too. But if you want to get fancier, you can do that. And again, you know, just adding some of these extra things. So I'm going to go back over to Matrix. That was right in my information. So you would have clicked on your name, click on settings, and then my information, and come over here to the One Home tab. So the One Home tab, you would put your picture in there. And then this is where you'd fill in, you know, some of those extra fields. If you had a license number, it would probably be there already. If you had a team name, you had an Instagram, a Twitter, a Facebook, anything else you want to show up on that little section. This profile content, I think, is what goes on the second page. So if you had a video of yourself or any other content you want to write about your biography or things about you, a title for the page, you could do all of that here. The one thing you cannot do here is that branding piece. So the branding piece you do in MLS Touch. So I'm going to go back to this page where all the tips were, and there's a video on that. So it's called One Home Agent Branding How To. And this is actually going to tell you how to do it. You go into MLS Touch and you set the branding up for MLS Touch, but it also comes over to One Home. So that's a 3-minute video. If you want to see how that's done, it's really pretty self-explanatory right in MLS Touch. We're going to try to have a session on MLS Touch on a coming Wednesday. But it's I think it's pretty easy to get through. So, okay, back in my Matrix, I'm going to go to my home page just to show you. I better refresh here. My new buyer didn't show in here yet, so I'm going to go here under contacts, or rather auto emails, and see. Oh, it's not showing opted in yet. Or I'm sorry, because we did click that link this morning. It will change to green, shortly, to show that we went in there at 10:20 or 10:30, whatever time it was. I'm going to go back over there a minute. So that was this one. just by coming in here that opted us in. So it shows like we have a little tiny bit of a lag going on. So that's basically the cycle. You're going to start with a search, whatever your results, you're going to click save it and then indicate, is it a saved search? It's just for me. It's an auto email that I want to send out automatically every time there are matches. You could start up here from contacts. Hey, I want to start in my contacts. I want to add a contact. From there, I'm going to do a save search, whatever. It kind of all works. And then whatever works for you, if you want to just look at your list of contacts and see what those searches are, how many different auto emails you have set up, when is the last time they looked at that, you can do that. Or you can go under the individual category like auto emails and save searches. Okay, that's how to start from the beginning. Now you might be wondering, well, what about my auto prospects that I had in Rapatoni? Or do I have to do something with those? Yes, you do. So in my matrix, they all came in, if you had any, under saved searches. So you would see imported prospect search if it was an auto prospect, or you would see imported saved search if it was just a saved search for you. If the contact came over, which it would have if you had an email attached, that would be here too. In my case, mine are only, I didn't really have any in Rapatoni, so I kind of added these just so I'd have something to click on for you. But most likely, if you had an auto prospect, your contact would have come over and be hooked onto it. So we can do that. The other one you might see is imported mobile prospect. So if you had set it up on the mobile version of Rapatoni, it would say that. So I'm going to just point out these little arrows next to each one. If your auto prospect came over, you do need to restart it in Matrix. Because our search criteria is slightly different, number one, they want you to double check your criteria. And number two, they didn't want them going out of the same, both systems at the same time. Of course, they're not going out of Rapatoni anymore. So you're going to click this down arrow next to the one you want to work with. And you can do a few things. First of all, you can do results just to see if it's finding any listings. And if there's none, then you might have a problem. I'm going to use my back arrow up here. You can check the criteria. Your criteria is listed right here. And for some people, that's fine. You can read that and it's good. But for some people, you'd really rather look at the search screen. So I just clicked criteria. And the default here is that it's showing single family, condo, and rental. So I'm going to want to say, you know what, it's just the single families I want. They don't want a condo. We're not talking about rentals here. This is my areas, but I did want to be looking for the 3 or more bedrooms. So I'm putting the 3+ up here. Remember always to use the plus or minus in these fields over here. So it's 3 or more bedrooms, not just 3 bedrooms. And same thing for a date. If you stick a date over here, like for close, make sure you put a plus. So everything after January 1st, or you can use a dash for through. So basically I'm saying, okay, this search looks good now. I'll save it. And it's going to bring me back to where I can do a final save on that. If it was a saved search, I could just press save and be done, because I added that bedrooms to my search. And I said it's just single family. But if this was an auto prospect, which it says it was, I now want to turn that one into an auto email, which is right up here. Turn this saved search into an auto email. So we can do that. You may want to take this stuff out to indicate you handled it. Nobody sees it but you, so it's totally up to you if you want to leave it. Just so it's a reminder that that's one of the ones that came over, that's fine. So if I want to turn it into an auto email, I'm going to click this link and then you'll recognize the screen. It's where I got to pick my contact. So if my contact came over, I can pick it. If not, I create a new contact, add in that first name, last name, email address. If they have a spouse or somebody who also should get it, I could stick it in there. Again, I'm going to indicate if I would like a copy. I'm going to put the whatever the subject is, and it's good to put a little bit about what you're looking for. I'm going to just pick that one I already typed in there. Again, the welcome email is that default email that they get on the first time. You can change it, use the gear to do that, change your signature if you need to. Probably once you do one or two of these, you'll know your signature is fine. Enable concierge mode if you need to. Again, that's if you want to pick and choose, you want it automatic, but you want to pick and choose before it actually goes out. I'm going to enable that on this one. So it tells you, Matrix alerts you on the home page automatically as new matches. So you would see it on your home page. If you would also like an email when that happens, you check that. And then you can say save. So now it tells you that one's set up. It's updated. Here's your concierge approval. So there's those 7 listings. And you can say, yep, I want to send all of those. Approve selected. Because you already worked with the email. Or maybe it's all of them but one. You're going to approve the selected ones. And those are going to go. And now the next time, this one we can say, nope, we're going to reject this one. The next time there are matches, it will be on your homepage, which I don't think we're going to, oh, here it is on your homepage. None of your concierge mode auto emails have unsent listings. The next time any match that one, they're going to pop in there, and it's also going to send me an email because I told it to send me an email. And then I can say, yep, send this one. Nope, don't send this one. That's for your pickiest clients, right? Those who need a little extra service or whatever their need is. They're busy, they're whatever, that you're really just sending them the favorites, but it's still automated, so it's a little less work for you. That's all I have on that. Let me think. I think that's kind of like a good overview on save searches, prospects, auto prospects, contacts, moving things around on your screen so you can find them. So if you are going to use concierge, it popped up there for us because it knew we turned it on. But if we say, oh, I think I'll move my market watch, grab that. I really need my listings up top so I can get to my incomplete listings, my active listings. There's my concierge, there's my favorite searches. Maybe I don't have too many favorite searches, or I'm not going to run them that much. So I want my recent visitors up here, which, by the way, here's Brenda updated at 10:24 a.m. I'm guessing if we go over here under auto emails, her little circle is going to be green. Oh, not yet. Oh, yep, there's Brenda's. This is the one I just sent. So Brenda's got the little green. Now the one I just sent in concierge mode. Let me see if I can pull that one up. And we can interact with it. So here it is. Welcome to One Home. Dear test client, view the properties. So now I'm viewing that one. And those are the 6 properties, because remember I rejected the one. There's the 6 I'm sending this client. And now eventually back here on Matrix, that little circle will be green too, because now we've interacted with it. So super helpful on your homepage. Again, if you'd really rather be notified, besides the concierge, which we already told, those other notifications are up here under settings. Every single thing I just said is in this 3-page tip about auto emailing. Super, again, if you like details, it's very detailed. So I think that would be helpful. The only thing I think is I just noticed as I was showing you this, we don't have a way to do possibilities anymore. It's either a favorite or a discard. So I have to take that word off. So disregard that word if you read this. And that's that. So now I'm going to say I'm done.